Welcome back to Afternoon Live. The Pacific Northwest is home to a variety of insects, but many of them are misunderstood. Here to share about some of the bugs we might find in our area and the impact they have on our environment, we welcome OSU professor and extension entomology specialist, Silvia Rondon. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for the invitation.
You stay very busy because you're also the director of the Oregon IPM Center. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure. The Oregon Integrated Pest Management Center, it is a center that works like a hub of information for all pests, not only insects, which is the topic of today, but anything else that we consider a pest, like weeds, plant diseases, vertebrates, and things like that.
Super helpful for people in the agriculture industry and really big impact on our local economy.
Absolutely. Our goal is really to work with not only with the agricultural sector, which will be probably the topic of our discussion today, but also with urban and rural, trying to break that wall between reaching out more diverse audiences throughout not only our state, but also in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, let's talk about the definition of what a pest really is and some good insects versus harmful ones.
I love the question. That's kind of the way I usually start any time that I'm invited to talk about insects. Insects are really there's over 1 million insects out there, but not all of them are considered pest problems. We have the ones that we consider good insects and bad insects. The bad obviously are the ones that are affecting crops or are a nuisance to homeowners and things like that. But the good guys are also a huge focus of what we as entomologists study, which are all those insects that feed and control the bad insects and are used in a variety of ways, even serving as a food source, for example.
Oh, wow, sure. Well, and there's such a huge diversity of not just insects, but also just pests in general, right, here in our local area.
Absolutely, yes. My area of expertise is really agricultural entomology. And as such, I am an expert working for over 22 years, working on all pests that affect row crops. So, you can see in my box here in front,
yes,
kind of like a diversity of the different pests that we focus on in our research and extension programs with Oregon State University.
How wonderful. So let's talk about some examples here of some bugs that we might see locally, and you can explain a little bit about them, beginning with, I think we have a photo of a blister beetle. Tell me about that.
Oh, I think the common name really says it all.
Yeah, it doesn't sound so good.
So these insects really have a very interesting biology. You can really find them in a diversity of crops and environments. And as the name says, there is a lot of people that can be allergic, and actually not only people, but also animals. If these insects are found, let's say, on hay, alfalfa that, cattle are feeding on, they can cause tremendous damage to those animals feeding on them.
That sounds so painful for them too.
Yes, and if people are really allergic, they can cause blisters.
Okay, so what about a tomato or a potato psyllid? Is that how you say that?
Yes. And I could really spend a lot of time talking about this. This is, by now it's not a new pest, but back in 2011, it's a pest exclusively of solanaceous crops, which includes potatoes, include tomatoes and things like that. Hopefully the audience knows that the Oregon, Washington, and Idaho produces close to 56% of the potatoes in the United States.
Super important.
So when these pests arrive in the Columbia Basin, which is where most of the potato production occurs, it really causes a lot of economic damage.
Yeah, that's a huge impact. Okay, what about a Colorado potato beetle? What's specific about that one?
Yeah, I shouldn't say this, but it's probably one of my favorite insects to work with because as you can see on the screen, you have the larvae. The larvae, it feeds on the leaves of the potatoes, and the adults also feeds on the leaf of the potatoes, and if they are left uncontrolled, they can cause severe economic damage.
Okay, and then how about, tell me what this one is. Potato tuber moth, is that right? Okay.
Yes, this is another pest where I could spend a lot of time because actually it's the first pest that I focus on when I moved to Oregon from Florida.
Okay.
So this pest is a pest from the tropics and subtropics, and it found its way into the Pacific Northwest, affecting potatoes. And the adult is a free moth, but the larvae goes into the soil and goes inside the tubers feeding on that. And obviously people don't want to find them on the French fries or things like that.
That doesn't sound very pleasant. Okay, that's good to know. And then I think a lot of us are familiar with stink bugs. Those feel like they're everywhere.
Yes, and in the last several years, there is a lot of focus on these stink bugs because especially there is one species, the brown marmorated stink bug, which has been moving from the east coast to the west since around 2009, and it's it really affecting a lot of crops in the Pacific Northwest, including hazelnut, which is one of our main crops in Oregon.
Yeah, hazelnuts are super important too. Okay, what about more invasive species? I think we have a photo here of things that are not established versus are established. Can you break this one down for me?
Sure. The one on the left-hand side is the emerald ash borer.
Okay.
It is a relatively small beetle that the immature and the adult drills inside ashes. And Oregon, we have this beautiful ash diversity here in the state, but this is a pest exclusively of ash trees. And it's already established, and it can potentially cause huge devastation to our ash flora here.
Okay, and then what about the one on the right?
The one on the right-hand side, it is probably people have heard about them. This is the spotted lanternfly. It arrived in the U.S. on the east side of the country, and it's a relatively it's a very beautiful insect, but it can cause a lot of problems, especially to nursery crops. And Oregon is, of course, one of our main commodities is nursery.
Big local industry too. Okay, I want to quickly ask you about a jumping worm. Tell me about this species. This is fascinating.
Yeah, so jumping worms, obviously they are not insects. Probably at the very beginning I should have said that the way you identify insects is by different body parts, 3 pairs of legs and things like that. This is a completely different individual, but I thought it was a good idea to bring it here because it's probably one of the ones we get more requests about what to do to be able to control them.
Okay.
This is very similar to regular earthworms.
Sure.
But the big difference is that these jumping worms are invasive, so they are not native from here. They are competing with local earthworms. They feed tremendously. If they are found in litter, they can destroy and really unbalance the natural ecosystem that happens in the soil. So it's something to watch for. Yeah,
really good to at least just have the information of what you're seeing here locally, and then you can decide more information about what to do next. Thank you so much for being here and sharing with us.
Thank you for the invitation.
So fun to learn. Okay, we will have more information about Silvia and the Oregon IPM Center on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.